Hello everyone, welcome to Weightage Academy's YouTube channel. So in this video, we'll be talking about the new notification which was released by Staff Selection Commission regarding the tentative schedule for SSC JE examination. So in this video, we'll be talking about the date as well as the exam pattern. Also, we'll be talking about the cutoffs of paper 1 of SSC JE examination, and to be more precise, we'll be also discussing about the syllabus for civil engineering technical as well as the non-technical portion we'll be discussing over here in this particular video. So as per Staff Selection Commission official website, Junior Engineer Examination Paper 1, that will be a computer-based examination. The date of advertisement will be released on 5th of August 2025. After that, closing date of the examination, the application form will be 28th of August 2025. The examination will be held in October to November 2025. Keep this in mind that there is a huge amount of time which is available right now for you all, so that you can prepare for this examination wisely. Right? Now, Weightage Academy offers pre-recorded courses which are valid for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months for SSC JE preparation for both technical and non-technical syllabus of civil engineering, electrical engineering and mechanical engineering students. And students out there who are watching this video can use AS20 code and to get 20% off on our courses. You can go on our application AS Online and you can go for the pre-recorded course for SSC JE and enroll for 7 days of free trial as well. Now, let's just discuss what is the pattern of SSC JE. See, paper 1 examination. So SSC JE is conducted in multiple levels. First 2 levels are the 2 examinations, and then they will be calling you for document verification and the final selection process. Paper 1 is an objective type paper. It will be a computer-based test. In this, there are 3 parts. Number 1 part is your general intelligence and reasoning. 50 questions are asked. Each question is of 1 mark. After that, general awareness, 50 questions. Each question will be of 1 mark, and a total of 100 marks in these 2 sections. After this, technical. For civil engineering students, it is part A. Total 100 questions will be asked. Each question 1 mark and 100 marks is equivalent. So total of 200 marks will be awarded in this particular examination, and 2 hours of examination it is. And there is negative marking of 1/4, right? 1/4 negative marking is there. So 1 mark question, 25% negative marking, 0.25 is the negative marking. So the students who will qualify paper 1 are allowed to go for paper 2. So in this paper 2, this will be also a computer-based examination. Again, 3 different separate exams for civil, electrical as well as mechanical engineering. Now see, the number of questions will be 100 in this purely technical examination it will be, and each question will be of 3 marks, total 300 marks. There is a negative marking of 1/3, that means -1 in case of a wrong answer. Total of 2 hours are dedicated to this particular examination. So this is your SSC JE scheme for paper 2 once you qualify paper 1. It will be held after that. Now the point is, students are in big dilemma that, sir, what has been the cutoff over the years? Let's discuss that. So see, for 2024 examination for civil engineering, you can see for various categories the cutoff, right? For SC, the cutoff has been 101.85. For ST category, it has been 97.83. For OBC, 116. For EWS, 109. For unreserved category, it was 122.92. So approximately 123. For other categories, handicapped categories, it is fairly very, very less. Now you can see how many number of candidates who were called for different categories. You can see that for unreserved category, 1,111 students were considered for the paper 2 examination. If number of students are less, this corresponds to the fact that the competition has been very good, right? That means in this particular case, the number of students, if they are less, then the competition was fairly good amongst the unreserved category. After that, EWS and OBC, you can see not much difference with the cutoff marks. Not much difference is there. After this, for the year 2023, you can see the paper 1 has been same. The pattern of paper 1 has been same over the years. For 2024, it was changed a bit. And the last year as well. So see, civil engineering students, general category, you can see 108 was the cutoff as the number of seats were increased. How many number of students were called? 1300 students. So you can see for general category, they are calling somewhere around 1000 to 1300, 400 like that, not more than that. OBC, you can see 106, not much differences there. EWS 98.91. After that, SC category 89, ST category 87, and handicap category, you can see it is reduced. Now total 10,154 students were called for paper 2. Similarly, for paper 1 of 2022, you can see the cutoff 110 for general category. For OBC, it was 107. For EWS, it was 89. After that, SC, it is 86. ST also 86. So you can see, if you are falling, if you are from general category, if you are falling in the range of 105 to 120 or 125, then there is a chance that you can get selected. Not on the lower side. Again, try to keep it as high as possible, because nothing can be said this year around. In the next case, the number of vacancies are expected to be higher. So therefore the cutoff can decrease, but nothing can be said because number of students can also be more. We were expecting that this year in the GATE examination also, number of students will be less in civil engineering, but that did not happen. This year, for the year 2025, the number of students in civil engineering will also be, in 2 shifts. The examination will be conducted in 2 shifts for civil engineering. For other engineering streams like mechanical and electrical, electronics, the examination is conducted in a single shift. And similarly for CS, multiple shifts. Right, so you can see for all those previous years, for 2020, you can click a screenshot. For 2020, 2019, 18, 17, and 2016. Now, before that, the number of seats were quite less. That's why the cutoff has been higher, on the higher side. But try to get as high as 125 or 130 marks. You'll be on a safer side, because it will help you in your final selection also. After that, what has been the subject-wise weightage of civil engineering subjects? That is the most important key thing over here, is that students tend to focus only on selective subjects, and they tend to leave particular topics or particular subjects. From my point of view, it is not advisable. For MCQ type examination, try to always cover 100% of your syllabus. Obviously, you can leave 1% of your syllabus, but 99% of your syllabus you need to cover. You should not leave your entire subject. Like people, for example, they would leave irrigation engineering or hydrology, they will leave. See, questions are asked less, I understand, but try to analyze from which area the questions are being asked. Try to cover that and only. Leave selective topics from which the probability of asking a question is very, very less. Don't leave the subject altogether. After this, you can see that the other topics like building materials and concrete technology, this is very, very important. You can see 20 to 24 questions can be asked, 23 to 24 questions. After that, estimation, costing and valuation, 7 to 8 questions. Surveying, 9 to 10 questions they will be asking. After that, soil mechanics, 4 to 5 questions have been asked. Soil mechanics, surprisingly 4 to 5 questions are only asked, but in other examinations like state level junior engineer exams, state level assistant engineer exams, soil mechanics is asked a lot. But in SSC JE, historically it has been seen that very less questions are being asked. So it's very surprising that SSC JE is asking very less questions in soil mechanics. After that, hydraulic machines and fluid mechanics also. Open channel flow as well included in this, 10 to 11 questions over here. After this, transportation engineering, 5 to 6 questions. Environmental engineering, 4 to 5 questions. Theory of structures, including strength of materials. This theory of structures, structure analysis, as well as strength of materials together. It is 11 to 12 questions. After that, RCC design, again very important in respect of codal provisions, 12 to 13 questions. And after that, steel design, 9 to 10 questions have been asked, primarily from codal provisions, right? After this, let's see what is the detailed syllabus subject-wise. See, for geotechnical engineering, you can see the subject topics. Over here, all the topics have been mentioned. I have directly copied this, but I'll point out what are the important topics to be discussed. For example, origin of soil is there. Definitions, void ratio, porosity, saturation, degree of saturation, water content, the specific gravity of grains, unit weights, that density index, interrelationship between different parameters. Now, what kind of questions are asked in this? So see, what they will do is, there is a relationship between, for example, void ratio and porosity, right? We all know this. That particular relationship, they will give you the value of void ratio and they will ask you what is porosity, right? They will give you the value of void ratio and they will tell you, calculate the value of dry density for a particular soil sample, right? After that, if dry density is given, how would you find the bulk density of that particular soil? Basic relationship formulas are asked in this particular topic. Not much, right? There are various tests. For example, for finding out water content, there is a test which is known as oven drying method. So basics of oven drying method can be asked in the question, right? Basic questions. What should be the temperature maintained in the oven for a particular organic soil, right? So specifically, you need to keep that in mind. After that, Atterberg limits, specifically for clayey soils, like liquid limit, shrinkage limit. After that, plastic limit. What is a plastic index? Everything regarding Atterberg limits. How to find out those Atterberg limits. Basics of that. Questions are asked a lot. After that, classification of soil. Basic classification questions you can see. Permeability, coefficient of permeability, determination of coefficient of permeability, and unconfined, confined aquifers. After that, effective stress is a different chapter. But from the permeability topic, you can see, again, questions which are asked are very, very easy. And the topics are easy. The syllabus is approximately same as that of a engineering services also and GATE also. But compare the level of questions. It is very, very different. It is very different. You know, if you'll see the SSC JE previous year questions, then you will be able to solve the questions directly. When you read the question, okay, this is the answer, solve it, fine. Now, sometimes in the previous years now, they are asking questions which are numerical based questions in SSC JE. Point is, no calculator will be given to you in that particular exam. So you have to be equipped with that, ki how to solve numerical questions without calculator, right? This is the problem in junior engineer state level exams also. This is the problem in assistant executive engineer exams of states as well, and also for engineering services. No calculator is given. And students tend to waste a lot of time during the exam in solving with their hand, right? Point is, you need to practice and you need to find out shortcuts to find out how to solve numerical based questions and how to deal with them correctly and with speed and accuracy. So consecutively, we'll be releasing videos on our channel for challenges which are being faced in the SSC JE examination in detail, right? So different types of questions we'll be releasing and how to prepare for such exams. But in this video, we'll be talking mostly about the syllabus aspect. After that, shear strength of soil, direct shear test, vane shear and triaxial test. After that, soil compaction, laboratory compaction tests which are there. After that, how to find out optimum moisture content, right? There are 4 tests, Indian standard test also and Proctor test as well. standard Proctor test as well to find out optimum moisture content. After that, there are earth pressure theories for retaining walls, active earth pressure, passive earth pressure, bearing capacity of soils, and standard penetration test and plate load test, which are there in bearing capacity of soils, right? Specifically, shallow foundations. Now, after this technical syllabus for SSC JE, hydraulics, you can see the syllabus is less. Over here, in this 4 topics only, they have covered a very vast topic, fluid properties and hydrostatics. After that, measurements of flow. In this, all the aspects of dynamic flow and kinematic flow will be covered. But again, not much questions have been asked from this. Bernoulli's theorem and its application, questions have been asked. Flow through pipes, easy it is. Flow in open channels, it's a big topic and questions asked are less. Weirs, flumes, spillways, pumps and turbines, again less questions have been asked. So try to cover this hydraulics topic afterwards when you are completed with your important topics. After that, irrigation engineering and hydrology, you can see these are the topics. Again, it's a vast topic, vast in the sense 2 subjects are given in the same portion in the syllabus actually. Hydraulics or hydrology, it's easy to process, right? It is very quick subject. It is a very scoring subject as well. Rainfall, how to calculate rainfall coefficient, rain gauge. After that, methods of irrigation and everything. Losses in precipitation, evaporation, infiltration. After that, water requirements of crop, duty, delta, and base period. These are very important topics, specifically for Kharif and Rabi crops. What is the command area? What is the time factor, crop ratio, overlap allowance, and irrigation efficiencies. Don't go beyond this particular syllabus. Students try to do PhD while they are preparing for such subjects of such examinations. You don't have to do that. Try to start with the previous year questions, understand what topics are asked in what way, what is the level of questions, then go for test series and revising your subjects and everything, preparing your subjects. After this, different types of canals, what are they? Lacey's theory is there, Kennedy's theory is there, so you have to cover that as well. Shallow and deep wells, the yield from a particular well. So yield from a particular well is covered in aquifers as well, right? Aquifers topic as well. And after that, weir, barrage, failures of weirs. After that, permeable foundation, silt score, Kennedy's theory and critical velocity formula. Lacey's theory is there. So these 2 are important. Good questions are asked from this. Again, from weir and barrage, not much questions have been asked. Definition of flood, causes and effects of floods. Water logging, it is asked. After that, preventive measure, what it is, they will be asked, right? After that, it is transportation engineering. In this, geometric design is very important. After this, the materials which are used for pavement materials, that is aggregates and bitumen, different types of tests, design of flexible and rigid pavements, the cross section of a pavement in case of rigid as well as flexible pavement, what is the difference, basic difference between the 2, they are asked. And after that, water bound macadam roads, wet mix macadam roads, gravel road, bituminous construction, rigid pavement joints, pavement maintenance, highway drainage, railway engineering. See, again in railway, not much questions have been asked, but again from geometric design of railways, questions are asked, right? So you can see here also not much questions have been asked. Try to focus on the topics which I have underlined first. After this, transportation engineering in the components of permanent ways. This is for railway engineering, sleepers, ballast, fixtures, fastening, track geometry, points and crossing, track junctions, stations and yards. And after this, traffic engineering, traffic signal, cycle length. How to calculate cycle length from Webster formula specifically, right? After that, traffic operation, traffic signs, again traffic signs and markings, they are important. Questions are asked. Speed flow density curve, it is important, right? After this, environmental engineering, see, In this case, quality of water, entire environmental engineering is divided into 4 parts. Quality of water, that is your freshwater engineering. After that, wastewater engineering, air pollution and sound pollution, right? So mostly the hardness, how to calculate hardness in freshwater engineering, hardness aspect, quality parameters, treatment of water and everything, they are asked a lot questions from that. Quality of water, the limits of various quantities in the water, the potable water which we drink, what are the limits of that? So see, what are the limit of total dissolved solids, what is the limit of chlorides, what are the limits of nitrates, like that, what are the limits of sulfates and everything. They are asked directly. After that, sources of water supply, from where do we source it? Purification of water, it's very important. All the process of purification of water, filtration, sedimentation, and after that, chlorination aspect, distribution of water also, population calculation also, sometimes questions are asked. Sewerage systems, circular sewers and oval sewers, sewer appendices. After that, sewage treatment is important. Sewage treatment is important. Surface water drainage, solid waste management, specifically in landfills, how to calculate the volume, right? Landfills. After that, air pollution is there, pollutants, causes, effects and control. Again, not much questions, but it's easy. In notes also, they will cover hardly 5 to 10 pages or 11 pages. So air pollution is easy, talking about pollutants, causes, effects and controls, everything. And noise pollution, health effects and control, right? How to calculate noise pollution as well. So these two can be covered very easily. After that, surveying is there. Principles of surveying, measurement of distance, chain surveying, important. After that, working on the prismatic compass, traversing and calculation of bearings, local attraction, these are asked a lot, not much from plane table surveying. After this, the theodolite traversing, adjustment of theodolite and leveling is important. Definition of the terms used in leveling, this is very important, specifically for paper 1. After that, contouring, curvature and refraction corrections. This is important. Curvature corrections and refraction corrections. Temporary and permanent adjustments of dumpy level. After that, uses of contour map, tachyometric survey and curve setting. And contour map, uses of contour maps. Earthwork calculation is important. How to calculate earthwork and advanced surveying equipments. If you want to ignore this, you can ignore. After that, there is theories of structures and strength of materials. Elastic constants, types of beams, determinate, indeterminate beams, bending moment diagrams, shear force diagrams, simply supported, cantilever beams and overhanging beams. See, specifically bending moment and shear force diagrams, they won't be asking for complicated loading. Simple beams will be asked. Simply supported beams they will be asking, or they will be asking what are the end moments which are produced in a fixed beam, like that, which are calculated from area moment theorem or Castigliano's theorem, like that. So moment of area, moment of inertia of rectangular and circular cross sections, it's very easy. It's taught to you in your 11th standard if you have done your school, if you are not from a diploma, right? Directly after your 10th standard, if you are not done diploma, then it won't be covered for you. But if you have studied well physics in your 11th standard, these topics are fairly covered over there. After that, there is bending moment, shear stress for a T channel and compound sections. Very easy it is how to calculate bending stresses and shearing stresses. After this, slope deflection method, moment distribution method for simply supported beams and cantilever beams is important. After that, for column, critical load for columns and torsion for circular sections. See, critical load is important specifically for Euler's, as per Euler's equation. They will be asking you questions. How the load carrying capacity or buckling load carrying capacity is influenced by moment of inertia of a cross section, the effective length of cross section, what it is, what is the theoretical effective length of how it is dependent upon boundary conditions, like that. Questions are asked. After this, there is concrete technology. Good amount of questions they will be asking you from concrete technology. It is very, very important. Properties, advantages and uses of concrete, cement aggregates, importance of water, quality and water cement ratio. This is very, very important. Even you will see this in various state level exams. Good amount of questions are asked from this topic. Workability, mixed design, storage, batching, mixing, placement, compaction, finishing, curing of concrete. All of these topics, not even a single topic you have to leave from this. All of these are very, very important. After that, quality control for concrete, hot weather concreting and cold weather concreting, repairs, maintenance of concrete structures, all are very important. So I am star marking all over here. You cannot even ignore a single aspect of it. And moreover, if you are preparing well for SSC JE, you are open for RRB JE as well. Approximately the technical syllabus remains the same for all the subjects. Now comes to RCC design. Again, most of the questions are asked from beams, beam shear strength, bond strength, and design of singly reinforced beams, doubly reinforced beams and cantilever beams. Right, not much questions are asked from T-beams and lintel beams. Their design is much more complicated. Lintel it is easy, but T-beams is complicated. Not much questions will be asked. I'll be focusing more on the IS codal provisions of IS 456-2000 for the design aspects. So try to read the basics of design and then focus on what is there. And do not ever ignore working stress method when you are going for RCC. See, you cannot ignore working stress method. It is written specifically in the IS code, syllabus. Specifically, they have mentioned that you cannot ignore working stress method. So you have to cover it. After this, steel design. Steel design is again very important. Good weightage is there. Now, we can ignore the very complicated aspects of designing of, let's say, plate girders, gantry girders. We can ignore those topics, right? But basic codal provisions I will be covering for that. Designing you don't need to cover for these girders and everything. Beams also. You don't need to cover the designing aspect. Codal provisions. Right. Codal provisions are very important. Type of sections, grades of seals, strength characteristics. Strength characteristics corresponds to the stress strain curve for standard structural steel. How to calculate that? What are the various classifications of structural steel based upon carbon content? What is the influence of carbon in the type of steel which we use, how it impacts the strength of structural steel, basic material specifications, and also the various quantities like physical properties, modulus of elasticity, shear modulus, coefficient of thermal expansion. All of these criteria are important. Again, here it is not written that you don't need to cover working stress method, limit state method. They have not mentioned the name. I am assuming over here, and we as faculties always teach the students working stress method also in steel design, right? After that, building materials, again very, very important. Good amount of questions are asked, but mostly you will see the questions are being asked from stones, bricks and mortar. Stones, bricks, mortars and timber. They are very, very important. For all of them, classification, tests, uses and manufacturing, physical and chemical properties they are asked, right? After that, miscellaneous materials like glass, plastic, aluminium, steel, galvanized iron, bitumen, PVC. See, bitumen you will be covering in transportation engineering only. After that, galvanized iron, it's important. Aluminium steel is also important. Basics of aluminium steel, properties, how does the stress strain curve of a aluminium steel look like? After that, how it is in comparison with steel which we use in structures. Why we cannot use aluminium in structures at large extent. The maintenance aspect of aluminium, it is corrosion free. All these aspects, the basics of aluminum as a structural material, you need to understand. After that, there is PVC, PPF, like that. These are miscellaneous materials. You'll see 1 or 2 questions being asked in 2 or 3 years of gap from a particular topic. Right? You need to find out questions are asked from which topic in this domain, in this particular asked topic. But other are very important. They are primary materials which are used in structures. So stone, bricks, mortar and timber are very important in this, right? So other than that, my team will be now discussing what is the syllabus corresponding to the non-technical part and what should be your approach in dealing with this syllabus.
Right. In this particular video, I am going to discuss the pattern of SSC JE and what are the important topics that we need to take care and what are the weightage of those particular topics. So let's start with the exam pattern that we are having. If we do talk about the exam pattern, then we can say that here mainly we are having 3 topics in the paper 1. We are having paper 2 separately, but here we are only going to discuss about the paper 1. If we do talk about the subjects, then we are having the general awareness, general intelligence and the reasoning, and the technical section where we are having part A as a general engineering for the civil and the structure, part B as general engineering for the electrical, part C as a general engineering for mechanical. Now let's talk about the number of questions asked from each topic. If we do talk about the general awareness, we are having 50 questions, they are carrying 50 marks. From general intelligence and the reasoning, we are again having 50 questions which carrying 50 marks. But if we do talk about the technical portion, here we are having 100 questions which carrying 100 marks, and all these 200 questions which are carrying 200 marks are MCQ, that means multiple choice questions, and the time limit that you are having to attempt all of these questions is of 2 hours. So basically within a span of 2 hours, you need to attempt the maximum question that you can attempt out of 200. So is there any negative marking in it? Yes, there is a negative marking of 0.25 marks for each wrongly attempt questions, right? Now in this particular video, we are going to discuss about the syllabus of the general intelligence and the reasoning and the weightage of particular topic, right? Okay. So if we do talk about the syllabus of general intelligence and the reasoning, this is the syllabus which is mentioned in your examination, right? Or we can say the proposal that they given over it, right? So the topics that we are having over here, the first one is analogy and the classification. Now what is the analogy and what is the classification? As this is a separate topic, but it is mentioned it like this only. So in the analogy, we are having certain pattern or some logic which is given in between the entities. First we need to identify them and we need to replicate the same thing with the asked one. Now classification is nothing but the other name of classification is odd one out. Odd one out. So basically here what we need to do, instead of focusing on the different one, we need to focus on the group formation. Here I am not going in the depth, but we are just getting the gist of the topics, right? The second topic that we are having over here is the coding decoding. So what we need to do in this one, in the coding decoding, here again the some logic, some pattern is given, or we are going to change the given segment of maybe the word, maybe the sentence, or maybe the number with some symbols, maybe some numbers, or maybe with the some letters. But there's some pattern is applied over here. We need to figure it out that, and we need to replicate the same thing with the ask one. The next one is the series. Now in the series, we are having main 2 bifurcation. The first one is alphabetic series and the second one is the number series. Now the combination of these 2 will create a alphanumeric series, which we can consider as a third part, right? Now in the number series as well, or we can say the series, again we can bifurcate into the 2. The first one is the missing number or the missing series, and the second one is a wrong number, right? The next topic that we are having over here is blood relation, in which we need to identify our relations with respect to our generations and the connections that we are having with our family, right? The next one is direction and the distance. We know that we are having 4 main directions and 4 cardinal directions. Now specifically that we need to take care of our turns. Whenever we are taking either the right turn or the left turn, we need to take care of these things specifically so that we can draw our diagram correctly, and don't forget to use a direction plane. And for the distance, you can use the Pythagoras theorem if required, and please do take care of the total distance and the displacement, right? The next one is the sitting arrangement. Now in the sitting arrangement, all the puzzles, it may be based on the linear sitting arrangement, maybe the box based, maybe the circular, triangular, rectangle, square, and many more. Everything comes under the sitting arrangement, or you can also call it as puzzles, right? The next one is syllogisms. In the syllogisms, what we are having few statements which we need to consider as a true, or we can say that for that particular question, that statement is completely true. Now what we need to do, we are having some conclusion that we need to check whether they are following these particular given statements or not. The next one that we are having over here is a word formation. Now what is this? So in the word formation, maybe some alphabets, some letters, or maybe some word is given to you and you need to pick a specific letters out of it, or you need to do some operation on the letters which is given in the question. The next one that we are having over here is a Venn diagram. Now in the Venn diagram, we know that here we are having, or we need to do something with the circles that we are having in it, and either we need to draw the diagram and we need to determine which diagram is true, right? The next one is paper folding method. So basically paper folding method comes under the non-verbal reasoning, but it is separately mentioned in the syllabus, so I also written over here. But you can connect these two topics, and just to attempt the non-verbal reasoning or any of the topic in which the images is involved, you need to analyze them carefully so that you can easily able to analyze them, whether like the topics that we are having under the non-verbal reasoning are maybe the paper cutting, paper folding, embedded figure, joining of the figures, and many more, right? There are few categories of analogies, series, and the classification is also present in the non-verbal reasoning, right? The next one is matrix. As we all know that in the matrix we are having few rows and the columns, and what we need to do, we need to identify few words with the help of applying some operation on the rows and the columns, right? The next one is verbal reasoning. For the verbal reasoning, you can also say it as a decision making. You can also call it as decision making. Or you can also call it as critical reasoning. It is not that tough as we are having under the CAT level examination or maybe some other examination. But yeah, you can also term it as critical reasoning. Now, what are the topics covered under it? Statements and assumptions, statement and arguments, statements and conclusion, statement and course of action, and many more. So basically all the parts in which we only need to work on the verbal segment, or there is no number, no figure is used, then it comes under the verbal reasoning, right? Now let's try to understand what is the weightage, and we prepared a table on the basis of the previous year questions or question paper of SSC JE, and accordingly we come with this particular table. Now here we are having few topics which are most important topics, and accordingly we just prepared how many questions were asked from this particular segment, right? If we do talk about coding, decoding, 3 to 4 questions were asked in the previous year questions. Series, here as you can see, here I also mentioned the missing number and the wrong series, because in some of the paper we observed that only the alphabetic segment were asked, or maybe in some of the question alphabetic and the number both were asked separately. So that why it is mentioned it like this. So from the series we are having 4 to 5 questions. From blood relation we are having 3 to 4 questions. Syllogisms we are having 2 to 3 questions. Sitting arrangement we are having 4 to 5 questions. Direction distance we are having 3 to 4 questions. Missing numbers 4 to 5 questions. Decision making 4 to 5 questions. Wrong number 4 to 5 questions. Non-verbal reasoning 5 to 6 question. This table is prepared on the basis of an average. We are not specifically talking about like from this particular topic only 3 to 4 question will be asked. No, it is not like that. We just prepared this particular table on the basis of the average of the multiple questions paper that we observed, right? So do prepare accordingly. Now you know what is the exam pattern, what are the syllabus and weightage of the topics. So all the very best from our side and do prepare it well.
Okay, let's have a focus on the general awareness, right? General awareness. So everyone is aware about the weightage of the general awareness, right? In the paper one, in the beginning, sir already explained that. So general awareness 50 and 50, and negative marking is also there. And remember one thing, along with the technical, along with general intelligence or reasoning, and general awareness has a weightage of 50. So there is no scope of escape and there is no scope of negligence. So you have to give lot of importance to general awareness also. Now there is a basic question. Okay, how to get the maximum marks in general awareness? So if you want to get the maximum marks in general awareness, like how to get 40 to 45 marks in general awareness, total marks are 50. So out of 50, how to get 40 to 45 marks in the general awareness? That is the question. So if you want to get the maximum marks, is it possible first? The first question is it possible? Why not? Why not? Everything is possible, right? Here 40 to 45, definitely you are going to get the marks. 40 at least. I am not discouraging you, but sometimes the session is very difficult for you. So based on that, there is a chance of get a 40, but you can get the 45 marks. Okay, how to get the 45 marks? As a student, you should first have an idea about the syllabus. Most of the students are doing this mistake. Straight away they are listening videos, and straight away they are going to purchase the books, and straight away they are preparing for that. No. So instead of that, first of all, have a syllabus. So know about the syllabus, because when you know the syllabus, you should have an idea about the boundary of the syllabus. Suppose history, and if you know the syllabus, you know the boundary, what to read, what not to read. That is the most important thing. Any person who is preparing for competitive examination, and you are going to focus on what to read, you should also focus on what not to read. That is also a deciding factor. Okay, so focus on syllabus is very, very important, first thing. Second one, and go through previous questions. For suppose you went through the polity, for example, president, governor, parliament, okay, citizenship, some chapters are there, and you observe the syllabus, and immediately please look into the polity questions, polity previous questions, so that you have an idea on president, how they are asking questions, on governor, how they are framing questions, on parliamentary system, how they are framing questions. So like this, once you analyze the syllabus, and please go through once the previous questions, so you will get an idea how examiner is thinking, because when any person preparing for the competitive examination, you should catch the pulse of the examiner. How examiner is thinking, how examiner is framing a question from physics, from polity, from chemistry, how he is framing, how he is thinking. So like our preparation also should be matched with the examiner, should be matched with the examination. So right strategy is very, very important. So observe the previous questions and revision, as you know that. So in general studies, the most important thing is revision. Everybody will tell that, like me also. But when you read the each and every syllabus, like polity, geography, history, economy, like that, and if you read in a repeated manner, definitely you are going to remember, you will get a clarity. If you read the subject one time, you are not going to remember anything. Next, practice. So make a habit of practice of general studies questions every day. Every day you have to practice the general studies question. Every day you have to practice the general studies questions. Is it clear? At least 30 questions you have to practice minimum, or at least 20 questions, because you have enough time, plenty number of days are available, you have enough time is available. So make a habit of reading current affairs, make a habit of attempting the questions, and definitely, and these things makes you perfect in the examination. Now come back to the syllabus. Come to syllabus. So the first priority here, the current affairs, you have to go through the current affairs, general science and technology, and Indian political system and economy, Indian geography, and general knowledge. So these are the main chapters, and regarding the SSC JE general awareness, SSC JE general awareness, and these are the main chapters. Okay, right, let's discuss one by one. Current affairs. Current affairs means daily. You should read at least 1 year current affairs. That is mandatory. 1 year current affairs is mandatory. Okay, right. So in current affairs, where we need to focus? So appointments, of course, you have to focus on the appointment because they are asking questions on the appointment, recent appointments, maybe Comptroller General, maybe BSF head, or maybe RBI governor recently appointed, other country prime ministers, other country president, recent chief ministers, recent governors. Like that, you have to focus on the appointments. Second thing, how to focus on the awards also. So national level awards and international awards. National level awards means you have to get a clarity on national awards. For example, literature based awards are there. Jnanpith award is there, Saraswati Saman, Vayas Saman award is there, and also sports based awards. For example, you have Arjuna award, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna award, and in terms of science and technology, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar award is there, and also in terms of military, we have military awards, Paramveer Chakra, Veer Chakra, Mahachakra, Kirti Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, like that. Military awards are also there. So, and sports awards also there, film awards also there, like that. In local national awards, recently Rishabh Shetty ji, he got the national award for best actor. Like that, national level awards are there, international level also awards are there. For example, repeated questions on Oscar awards and also Nobel Prize. Definitely they are going to ask the questions on Oscar awards and Nobel Prize. Who got the Nobel Prize? In which category they got the Nobel Prize? For which discovery or invention they got the Nobel Prize? You have to remember. And also Indians, the history of Indians in the Oscar award, the history of Indians in the Nobel Prize, you have to remember. Abel Prize, Nobel Prize, Man Booker Prize, okay, Water Prize, Food Prize, like that many prizes are there. And come to sports also. Sports, sport does not mean that only cricket. We have tennis. Recently our young Indian 18 years old boy, he won the world chess champion title. Everybody knows that. So like that, there are two types of sports you have to consider here. Two types of sports. Usually the sports will happen 2 years, for every 2 years, for every 4 years. And the sports will happen every year. Some sports will happen for 2 years. For example, T20 World Cup for every 2 years. Some sports will happen for every 4 years. That is called Cricket World Cup, Women World Cup, and also Men World Cup, and also ICC Champions Trophy usually. And also the Commonwealth Games, Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, and also Olympics. These games usually held for every 4 years. So last time everybody knows that this year Olympics were happened. Definitely there is a chance of question on Olympics. In the history of Olympics, total medals, and Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, Cricket World Cup, Football World Cup for every 4 years, Football World Cup. Recent Saudi Arabia got rights, right? So like this you have a clarity. You should have a clarity. And international, I told that any country in the news, any new prime minister, any new president, any lake in the news, any country in the news, you have to go through that. And also summits like G20 summit, G7 summit, and BRICS summit, okay, like this. So what you have to see, in a cool manner, I want to tell you one thing. Everybody will read the current affairs. But in the current affairs, what you are reading is important. What you are reading, what you are remembering is important. Suppose if there is a BRICS summit is happened, now you have to remember how many at the BRICS summit, where it is happened, venue, you have to remember the venue. And 2024, for example, 13 summit. Next summit will be held where? 2025. What about the previous summit? Okay, is India member of G20? Is India member of UNO? Is India member of WTO? Like that, you have to remember that about India also. India is a member, India is a not member. So you have to know about all the international summits and their themes and venues, future venues. Schemes also. Frequently there is at least one question about this scheme. Any scheme launched by central government, any scheme launched by any state government recently, which is unique in nature, any scheme. You see that regularly the central government is launching schemes, portals, websites, apps. They are asking questions. Schemes also important. Index and reports. This is must. You have to remember. So index and reports, democracy index, press freedom index, corruption index, environmental performance index, passport index, like that. So in the index you have to remember the index name, the first country, the second country, and what is the rank of India. You have to remember. Clear? Okay. Next, static GK. Of course, you have to give the equal weightage to static GK also. So international organizations or national organizations like WTO, like UNO, like IMF, like World Bank. Okay, you have an idea what is that international organization, headquarter, president, chairman, what is the role of this organization, what is their objective. You have to follow that. And the temples also, you have to focus on temples in history perspective, culture perspective, general knowledge perspective also. You have to remember the temples also. So temple built by which dynasty, which king built, in which city is located, in which state is located, like that, right? And dance and festivals. So dance, it does not mean that you are going to dance at the time of marriage. No, not those kind of dance. Dance means we have classical dance are there, folk dance are there. Every state is having their own folk dance. They'll give you folk dance name. You have to identify the state like that. So try to know first of all classical dances, and try to know all the folk dances. And along with the dance and dance, you have to have an idea about the festivals also. They're asking questions about the festival. They'll give you give you festival name, and you have to identify the state. You have to identify the state. Sometimes they'll give you tribe name also. You have to identify the associated state. Tribe name, state. Tribe name, festival. Tribe name, dance. So you should have a clarity. Like what? If I say Nagaland, okay. In Nagaland, so and so dance are there. In Nagaland, so and so tribes are there. In Nagaland, so and so festivals are there. If you remember like this, you are going to get 2 marks very easily. Trust me. Clear? Okay. Next, dams also as part of geography, of course, dams also, and any river recently in the news, and biosphere reserves, wetlands, national parks. Okay, and repeatedly they're asking questions. They're giving one national park name. You have to identify the state, like that. Okay, they'll give the state name. You have to identify the national park, or maybe biosphere reserve, or maybe wildlife sanctuary, or maybe wetland, And one more thing is called UNESCO sites. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Not only World Heritage Site, they're identifying some cultural areas also, like literature in terms of a city, literature city, music city. Okay, and UNESCO also recognizing certain places who are culturally very, very important. The cultural heritage sites also, UNESCO is also important. Books and others, and also latest inventions. That is also important. Next, Indian history. Of course, it is very vast. For every subject, you can get 4 to 5 questions. From every subject, 4 to 5 questions. Ancient, medieval, as well as the moderate. Now come to ancient, where you are going to give the importance. First, to give the importance about the Indus Valley civilization. In Indus Valley civilization, please focus on cities. When you talk about the Indus Valley civilization, we have cities are there, like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Chandaro, Lothal. What is a port city? What do you mean by Mohenjo-daro? Like that, they're asking questions. So please focus on the Indus Valley civilization cities. Second thing, they are focusing on Buddhism. Buddhism and Jainism. Any competitive examination you are writing, there will be always a question from Buddhism and Jainism. You know what exactly Buddhism, what exactly Jainism, and a list of Tirthankaras and Bodhisattvas and Buddha Sishyas. Okay, in Buddha life there are 5 events are there. What are the 5 events? Okay, the books related to Buddhism, the books related to Jainism, the temples related to Buddhism and Jainism, Buddhist stupas, Buddhist philosophy. This is important. Okay, and also you have to focus on the Gupta, the Maurya also. In Maurya, you have to more focus on Ashoka. You have to more focus. In Gupta regarding, you have to focus on the kings, their titles, their contribution, inscriptions. Those are important. Now come to medieval India. And the Delhi Sultanate, and also Mughal Empire, and also Maratha Empire, and also Bhakti movement. Most of the people are neglecting this Bhakti movement. Simple questions are there. Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, and Chaitanya, and also Kabir. These kind of Guru Nanak. I'm using the word G. All these people are very, very important. So you have to focus on who all these people. Come to Delhi Sultanate and Mughal. We have Alauddin Khilji, Babur, Humayun. Okay, their title, their wars, and art and architecture you have to focus. Humayun tomb built by, Taj Mahal built by, Red Fort built by. Very, very simple, straightforward questions only. And most important thing, the reforms by Alauddin Khilji, reforms by Tughlaq is very, very important. Repeatedly they are asking questions on reforms of Khilji and Tughlaq, and one more thing called Akbar. So in the entire medieval history, focus on these people, Khilji, Tughlaq, Akbar, and also Shivaji. Okay, come to modern history. and where you have to focus more is called the Gandhian phase. Please give more importance to Gandhian phase. I can say that what happened after 1857 to 1948, this is very, very important. This period is very crucial. And in my opinion, this period is too much crucial. Whatever happened 1900 to 1948, these instance, if there are 3 questions are there from modern India, 2 questions from this period only, 1900 to 1948. And in modern history, they are asking questions about the socio-religious reforms also. Please give the importance to this chapter, socio-religious reforms. Like Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, Ishwachandra Vidyasagar, and Kandukuri Village Lingam, and like many people are there, okay. Please try to read about this social religious reforms. Next, Indian polity. Come to Indian polity. First of all, they are asking questions on articles. Articles they are asking. Sir, there are 1, 2, 3, 95, many articles are there. Is there any need to remember all the articles? No. Focus on article 1 to 5. Focus on article 6 to 11. And focus on fundamental rights. Article 14 to 32. Please go through this. At any cost, you have to remember these articles, fundamental rights. And also you have to know the articles about the Prime Minister, Council of Minister, President of India, and also Election Commission, Finance Commission, UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, Supreme Court article. Only these kind of articles are enough. But frequently they are asking questions on article. That too, you have to focus on the President article, fundamental rights, the Prime Minister, and the Supreme Court article, High Court article, individual article, and also Election Commission, Finance Commission, SC Commission, ST Commission, OBC Commission. So straight away, you have to remember the single articles. So first you have to focus on articles. Second one, recent amendments. You know amendment? Changing in the constitution is called amendment. You know, recently 106th amendment related to women reservation bill. My strong opinion is, first of all, try to focus on 91 to 106 amendment. 91 to 106 amendment. There is a high possibility to ask the questions on amendments. So till now in India, totally 106 times the constitution was amended. So 91 to 106 you have to remember. And also you have to focus on First Amendment, 7th Amendment, 9th Amendment, 21st Amendment, 27th Amendment, and also 32nd Amendment, and 42nd Amendment, 44th Amendment, 52 Amendment, 61 Amendment, 67 Amendment, 71, 72, and also 84, 87. So these are all important amendments. In any examination, these kind of questions they are asking. Is it clear? Okay. So first focus on articles, second focus on amendments, third focus on some important personalities like President, Governor, appointment, who appoint Governor, who appoint Supreme Court Judge, appointment, removal, resignation, maximum, minimum, and in Parliament, Lok Sabha strength, Rajya Sabha strength, Assembly strength, Council strength. So these are straightforward questions they are asking in the examination. Very simple. Focus on recent articles. And Indian geography, they are asking questions mostly on mountains, mountains, rivers, and dams. Sometimes, and they are asking question about the types of soil, types of forest, which soil is highest, which forest is highest, and what about the rainfall. Some basic things only. And come to Indian economy, focus on first concepts. In Indian economy, focus on concepts like what is GDP, what is GDP, what do you mean by GDP, what do you mean by GNP, what do you mean by NNP, like that, what do you mean by per capita income, what do you mean by personal income, okay, what do you mean by inflation, and what do you mean by poverty, what do you mean by unemployment. Just basic definitions and basic concept, that is enough. Along with some recent current affairs like what is the current GDP growth rate as per budget, as per economic survey, those current affairs requires, okay, right. Next, science and technology. Science and technology, anything is part of current affairs only. Any launches by ISRO, any launches by NASA, and recent experiments are by DRDO, DRDO in terms of defense. In terms of defense, you should have an idea about the missiles. What are the different of missiles we have? Cruise missile, like that, okay. So subsonic missile, supersonic missile, types of missile. You should have an idea about the Akash, Agni, okay, like that. So have an idea about the latest missiles, latest, what we called war tanks, okay, submarines, anything recent launched by ISRO, DRDO, NASA, that is obviously very, very important. And they're asking questions about the what we call military exercises. They're asking questions on military exercise also. Please focus on that. Latest vaccines also very, very important. Okay. Next, general science, physics, chemistry, and also biology. Physics, chemistry, biology. Okay, we'll make separate videos. Don't worry about that. In terms of physics, we have light chapter, heat chapter, mechanics, sound, gravity. Please focus on the basics. Learn basics. And come to chemistry, we have like acids and bases, periodic classification, carbon chemistry, physics and chemical changes, metal, non-metals. Just focus on basics only. And biology, microorganisms, blood group, vitamins, disease, and plant. These are same repeated questions in the examination. Okay, just to explain the syllabus in a fast manner. Okay, right. Then you have a doubt. So how to prepare for the SSC JE? How to prepare for the RRB JE? Yes, how to prepare? ACE is there. ACE is providing the RRB JE, SSC JE courses, completely exam oriented, completely concept oriented. So we are providing classroom coaching, we are providing live classes, we are providing pre-recorded classes, we are providing PYQ materials also, and also YouTube. Of course, in the YouTube, this video is also in the YouTube only, and subscribe to this ACE online channel, and we are going to make the videos regularly for RRB, for SSC, any central examination. Is it clear? Okay. And I want to share that we are launching the offline batch for SSC JE 2025. Remember that. First, you have to remember the 25th January 2025. On this date, we are launching SSC JE classes. So, classroom classes and also online live class. That means, if you are able to come to Hyderabad, please come, stay here, come to classroom. Suppose if you are not able to come to Hyderabad, but still you want to attend the classes, so you have online live classes. Online live classes, 20th January 2025, Hyderabad, Abids. And early bird offer, 5,000 rupees off is there till 20th January. If you are AS old student, any form of AS old student, you will get 30% discount. So this is SSC JE prelims and mains, GS and technical prelims and mains, and we are launching on 25th January at Hyderabad, Abids. Next, RRB JE also, and CBT1, CBT2, civil engineering, technical civil engineering, we are launching classroom coaching. Any student who want RRB, JE, CBT 1 and 2, civil, technical, we are launching same classroom coaching, online live class at Abids, same date, 25th January. SSC JE, RRB JE, both online classes, offline classes, 25th January. And SSC JE, suppose you are not able to come to offline classes, you are not able to attend live classes, you want to access the course, still you want to crack the job. Then we have SSC JE paper 1, paper 2, pre-record courses available in AS online app. Pre-record courses, 3 months validity, 6 months validity, 12 months validity. And if you want to get the discount, please use the AS20 code. You will get the 20% discount. Next, RRB JE CBT1 record course. See, if you observe that for SSC JE, for RRB JE, we have offline class, live class, and pre-record class in the application. So 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. If you want to get the discount, please use the coupon code AS20 so that you will get the 20% discount. And RRB JE CBT also. Some students think that, sir, I want to attend only CBT2, RRB CBT2. Don't worry. We have pre-record classes for CBT2 also. So 3 months, 6 months as well as the 12 months. And same you will get the discount, 20% discount and 20% off. Fee starts from 4,000 rupees plus GST. And still you want to get the benefit from the ACE platform, and in terms of material also. I told you in the beginning that, and go through the previous questions is very, very important. And ACE is offering the books also. This kind of RRB JE, SSC JE, the PYQs are available in both technical as well as the general studies. PYQs are available, Flipkart, Amazon, and also ACE website. Okay, and also we are offering SSC JE along with SSC JE, RRB JE, we are offering SSC CGL course and also RRB NTPC course and also banking exams. So please scan this please scan this and download the ACE online app. If you want to get the benefits of ACE, and please download the ACE online app and also subscribe this YouTube channel to get the more updates and more information, that to examination oriented information for all the central examinations. So I'm repeating once again, we are launching a batch, offline batch and live class for both SSC JE and RRB JE and 25th January 2025 Hyderabad. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best. Again, I will meet you soon. Thank you.